Welcome to Still Havens. Today we're going to be talking about 6/8 time and how it relates to finger picking. Now I'm going to help walk you through this when we go down to the guitar cam. I'm not going to leave you hanging on this. We've got tablature and chord charts as always, and when we go down to the guitar cam, I'm going to show you my hands. You're going to see my hands and what I'm doing and all that, and we're going to break this thing down. 6/8 time is really not that confusing. You know, it is a compound time signature, but you do see it in a lot of places, and it's pretty common in my opinion. So don't let it scare you. We're going to walk you through it. Now, before we do that, quick message to all the subs out there. Thank you so much for all your support. If you remember our last finger picking video, at that time I had no name. But thanks to you guys, we got over 500 subs real quick. I went ahead and was making the subscriber special. It's a parody on the Shining movie. It's called The Stilling. But while I was making it, we actually hit 600 subs, which is awesome, so thank you again. So I changed it from a 500 sub special to a 600 sub special because I love you all too much. Now the Stilling is crass, okay? It's not for children. Don't bring your kids. If you have a mom, don't bring your mom. Bring yourself. It's also about 22 minutes long. You know, it is chaptered out though, so you don't have to sit through parts you don't like. You could just skip to the next chapter. Or even better, you could rewind and watch your favorite chapters again and let me know in the comments of that video who your favorite character and scene is. And I would appreciate that because I love you so much. I won't make you go watch The Stilling to find out my name if you don't want to watch The Stilling, if you care anyways, but you should go watch The Stilling because it's crazy. My name is Logan, but nobody calls me that. My friends call me different things, some of them better than others, but my family just calls me Logue. So since we're family here, you know, you could call me Logue, or Logan, or Still. Sometimes I get emails from some of you guys calling me Still, and every time it goes straight to my head. But no, my name is Logan. You can call me Still if you want to, or Logue, or Logan, whatever. Also, I have a special announcement to make. You may have noticed that behind me, oftentimes, this guy photobombs my videos. There's actually a bit of a story behind him, okay? You know, I'm not much of an action figure guy, believe it or not, but hey, I was at this local cool comic store, and I really like Han Solo, you know? He's my favorite Star Wars character. I love Harrison Ford. I just think he's cool, all right? So I'm at this store just checking it out, you know? And I see this thing, okay? He's loose out of the box, blah, blah, blah. It's like 10 bucks or something. And I pick it up, and I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. That's Han Solo. That's the Harrison Ford Han Solo. So I buy it. I bring it home. Upon further inspection, I find something out. This is an imposter, man. This isn't the Harrison Ford Han Solo. Take a closer look. This is the fellow from the newer Star Wars stuff. I can't call this guy Han Solo. So after I was home and I figured all this out, naturally, you know, I got out my phone. I called the place up. I said, hey man, why'd y'all sell me this little scrub looking Han Solo? Naturally, they told me it was my problem. They hung up on me, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, whatever. So I can't call this guy Han Solo. So as our first act as a community, we're gonna name him together. Let me know in the comments what you think his name should be. But since he's been photobombing my videos so much, and since he's an imposter and not the real Han Solo, I've decided until Still Havens hits 703 subscribers, his name shall be Bitch Han. I will not move on this. Thanks. Anyways, we're gonna jump down to the guitar cam and get started. Let's go. All right, let's break this thing down. First things first, we're starting on this little A major inversion right here. And with this, we're not going to be using the low E string for this chord, and we are going to leave the A string open. And then we have this little inversion right here, starting on the D string. And when we do this with our 6/8 time picking, the first thing we're going to do is take our thumb and our ring finger and together pluck the open A and the high E strings together. After that, we're gonna take our middle finger and pluck the B string, and then our index finger and pluck the G string. Of course, our chord is still fretted. So all together from the top, we have And that is going to be the picking pattern for this entire piece, even when we change to the other chords. So all together, one more time. And that's your first 2 bars there. And really quick with 6/8 time, if you're unfamiliar with it, don't overthink it, okay? You could use your ear to help work yourself through this piece. Now, but just as a broad stroke of what 6/8 time is and how it compares to 3/4 time, which it's commonly, I don't want to say mistaken for, but sometimes. So with this, we're looking at 6/8 time, and we have really, if you listen to it, we have 2 sets, and you can see this in the tab below. We have 2 sets of 3/8 notes grouped together. This is an important component in 6/8 time because although 6/8 time is not always written out like this with 2 groups of 3/8 notes, it is quite common to see it like this. And 6/8 time in general is really felt in like 2 pulses. And what I mean by this, if I went through this really slow and counted it out and put emphasis on the first and the fourth beats, you can kind of feel where those 2 pulses are. For example, kind of slow here. And I exaggerated it a little bit so you could hear it. So if we were going to count this out slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trying to put emphasis on beats 1 and 4. Like I said, don't overthink this when you're getting this piece under your fingers, but just a little tidbit on 6/8 time to keep in mind. Now, if a piece is in 3/4 time, which is kind of similar to 6/8 time, the eighth notes, in this case we have 6/8 notes, we could still have those 6/8 notes in 3/4 time, but the grouping would probably be a little different. It might be grouped in like 3 sets of 2, and the pulse would kind of be felt in more of a stronger 3-beat pulse. So back to it, after this, we're going to this little E major chord inversion, and with this, we are going to be using the low E string, keeping that open. We're not going to be using the A string. Then we have this little inversion here. And the same picking pattern as before. So far, this is what we have. Next, we're going to go to this F sharp minor chord. And if you're not comfortable using your thumb, you don't have to. You can do this the legit way of it, like this, you know, and just use that full bar. In a piece like this, and in a lot of fingerstyle pieces, and in other pieces too, I like just wrapping my thumb around and grabbing that bass note, what have you, and doing it like that. The choice is yours. Like I said, if you're uncomfortable with using your thumb, you could totally do this bar chord, F sharp minor. But I would recommend doing the thumb, actually, if you can, for this piece, because that will let you transition easily to the chord after this as well, which you kind of do need to use your thumb for. Now, once we get to this F sharp minor, same picking pattern. And then we transition into our last chord. And if you are using your thumb for these lower notes, it's easy just to scoot it down, and you could even keep your ring finger on the same string as well. So we're going from this F sharp minor to this chord here. And with this, we have our thumb on the first fret of the low E. We're not using the A string. Then we have our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. We have the G string open. We have our first finger on the 1st fret of the B string. And we have the high E open. And what this is called is an F major 9 with no 3rd. It's kind of a cool, weird chord. And what I mean by the no third thing is, you know, in a chord, you generally have your root, third, fifth, and the third of the chord is what denotes it as major or minor. In this case, we have no third. If we did have a third, F major's third would be A, which we don't have, and then F minor's third would be A flat, which we also don't have. We have this open G, which is giving us our 9. We also have this high E, which is giving us a major 7. Now, we would just call this an F major 9. And in this case, since we have no third, you could also say no third, although this is a bit wordy. Anyways, this is what this chord is going to sound like. Same picking pattern as before. Really cool sounding chord, and it gives this piece a little bit more flavor, because up to this point the progression, although it's really cool, is a really common progression. You know, we just have A, which is our root, then we have this E, which is our fifth, and then we have this, you know, F sharp minor, which is our sixth. And then when we go to this thing, it really throws us out of key in a sense, which is really cool. But we kind of step to it nicely from this F sharp minor. You know, we just half step down to it. So although it's out of key, it's kind of a cool way to blend it into your otherwise in key progression. So that's really it for this piece. Like I said before, get this piece under your finger. Don't worry about the accentuation so much with that 6/8 time. Once you have the piece under your fingers, then I would try to focus on incorporating that accentuation, you know, and it's really going to be that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're accentuating beats 1 and 4. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Also, another quick tip on this, just try to keep your fingers moving as you move through this piece in transition chords. You know, it's quite common to be transitioning to another chord and having a couple of the end notes from the previous chord kind of blend into the next chord in transition. So definitely don't forego clarity or anything like that. All I'm saying is to keep your fingers moving to keep you in time while you switch to these chords. And if a couple notes from the previous chord are like getting struck on the end as you transition, this is kind of a normal thing. And as you get the piece moving, you won't really notice it as much. That being said, hey, nobody's technique is really perfect. I know mine's not. Have fun with this piece. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. We would love to have you aboard. Either way, and thanks so much for watching, and drop this video a like if you found it useful and enjoyable. We really appreciate you here at Still Havens, and we want you to be a part of this community too. I'm going to give you another playthrough with the tab here, and I'm just going to take it a little bit slower. Thanks again.